Kane arrived on one of the rebel transports and was awaited by C-3PO and R2-D2. They escorted him to Captain Wedge Antilles, and Kane informed him of the situation regarding the Separatist plans. Captain Antilles made sure all the high-ranking members of the Rebel Alliance got the news as well, so that the news would spread like wildfire. If the news of the false flag attack could become a common rumor among civilians in the galaxy, the Separatists might withhold out of fear for backlash. Besides that, the rebels' hands were bound. An operation that took months of planning was about to go underway. The rebels had managed to deceive the Empire by leaking fake intel, letting them think that the rebels were about to assault on Endor. The Empire decided to send their main force orbiting Jakku to Endor as reinforcements. But there would not be an assault on Endor, and by moving their forces, the Star Destroyers that were left above Jakku were spread out. A perfect opportunity to take them out from the inside. 3 months earlier, the rebels managed to capture an Imperial shuttle and use this to smuggle a small group of rebels on board of one of the Star Destroyers. The rebels were heavily outnumbered, but the element of surprise was on their side. If they were fast enough, they could take the colossal ship down and escape in time. The unsuspecting crew of the Star Destroyer quickly took heavy losses as the rebels proceeded through the hallway. By this time, the shots were heard, and the rebels caught on security cameras. Imperial reinforcements were inbound, but it would take them a little while to reach the main center. Blaster fire and grenades were thoroughly exchanged. Since they only had a small window of time left, the rebels pushed hard. The few stormtroopers that were left in front of them got pushed back further and further. They had now reached the door to the main center, and the stormtroopers desperately requested the door to be opened. The rebels had taken several losses, but still had the manpower to push forward as long as the reinforcements had not arrived yet. The main center opened its doors, and the few stormtroopers that were stationed there tried their best to win time. However, they got taken out quickly and relentlessly. The rebels headed in and shot the main officers quickly. They held the crew at gunpoint and ordered them to overload the destroyer's core, resulting in a meltdown and the destruction of the ship. Once the destruction was underway, the rebels shot the rest of the crew without remorse and retreated. The rebels who managed to survive were able to escape in the nick of time as the reinforcements had arrived. The Star Destroyer was destroyed, and even though destroying one single Star Destroyer of the Empire meant nothing to their size and number, it made all the difference in morale. The rebels showed the Empire it was vulnerable and that only a small group of people were enough to destroy them from the inside. The Emperor was furious and executed several of his intelligence officers. Rumors spread through the galaxy that maybe the Empire was not so powerful after all, and that a third faction could join the war if it thought it was strong enough. Lord Vader himself took charge of the retaliation process. He waited until a large outpost of rebels on Dantooine were mostly asleep. Then he would strike swift and hard to let the rebels know their place. With most of the rebels sleeping, stealth was at their side. But stealth has never been the Empire's preferred way.